So, this Friday, information finally dropped on Marvel Legacy, the brand new publishing rollout from Marvel Comics, a new initiative that was promised to rock the comic industry to its core. That's not me over-exaggerating either, they actually did say something to that effect, and now it's finally here, Marvel Legacy, which will be hitting store shelves in December, after Generations, which itself is also after Secret Empire, assuming that event ends on time as they keep adding new issues to it, and given Marvel's scheduling, there's a good chance all of these things are going to end up bunching up with each other, but you know, that's neither here nor there. If you clicked this video, chances are you're like me and you want to go in knowing what to look forward to and what's new from Marvel Legacy. The answer is basically everything you're reading now, but with a new fresh coat of paint on it and some covers homaging classic Marvel covers. Yeah, beyond that, there really isn't actually much of a shake-up to speak of. Most of these books, and I'm going to assume their creative teams, are staying the same. This new set of promo images we've seen only has the art teams, interestingly enough, and not the writers. What we do know for sure is that books like The Ultimates have been given the axe, but you might enjoy some new series like Spirits of Vengeance. Basically, it's a new take on the old Midnight Suns formula, or to put it another way, it's Paranormal Avengers, made up of returning Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze, Damien Hellstorm, and Satana. I'll definitely check out at least the first issue on this. I feel the more magical, dark side of the Marvel Universe has been neglected in the last couple years, so this one might be a cure for what ails me. From there, we get some major shakeups for the Hulk family of books. Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk series, now becomes the Incredible Hulk, and they seem to be teasing a return to Planet Hulk for the young Jade Giant. She-Hulk will be going back to just being called She-Hulk, and she'll be green again, despite them currently experimenting with a angrier gray-skinned She-Hulk in the book just called Hulk. Kind of a shame, as I was digging her new status quo and I felt it should have been given a little longer to breathe. No words yet on what's the deal with Bruce Banner. He's probably still dead, but who even knows at this point. Now, while Infamous Iron Man may be gone from the comic lineup, Invincible Iron Man is still around, complete with Riri Williams, and no doubt Bendis still at the helm. If I had to guess from this art, it looks like they're just kind of folding the two Iron Man books into one, which is not a bad idea considering Bendis often just sort of starts writing stories in a family and doesn't stop. I mean, just look at his X-Men run from a couple years back. If you weren't reading everything, you were going to be lost, so it's nice to see they've simplified things into just one Iron Man book now. The Infinity Gauntlet looks to be making a comeback in the Marvel Universe just in time for the Infinity War movie, and if you want to know more, guess you gotta read the new Guardians of the Galaxy for that sort of cosmic information. Now, Occupy Avengers might be gone, but if this art is to be believed, Clint Barton is going to be joining his crime-fighting partner Kate Bishop in the main Hawkeye book, which overall is fine by me. I love these two working together as a team. Meanwhile, in the pages of Spider-Man, Miles Morales is going to be battling a new version of the Sinister Six, an important milestone in the career of any Spider-Man. Good for him. I dropped off the Miles book once it got lost in crossover land, but this looks to be a good fresh place to jump back on. Speaking of young Marvel heroes, and the Champions and the Avengers look like they're going to be having themselves a big fight, because even though this is supposed to be a new era in Marvel Comics history, apparently heroes fighting other heroes just never goes out of style. It looks like they're all probably going to join forces and team up to fight the much bigger bad, who seems to be the High Evolutionary, as he appears on both the covers for Avengers and Champions. I might not be the biggest fan of the High Evolutionary in the world, but hey, at least it isn't another Avengers fight Kang story, am I right? Then we have Deadpool, who is getting a big rebranding in Marvel Legacy as the Despicable Deadpool, a fitting moniker now, as no doubt in the fallout of Secret Empire, Deadpool will be a pariah to the rest of the superhero community for backing Hydra Captain America, even though he knew it was wrong. This would seek to imply a return to a darker, more anti-hero-centric Deadpool book, and not the kinder, softer, gentler Avengers Deadpool we've had over the last couple years. Speaking of Hydra backers, is the Punisher becoming the new War Machine? This cover would seek to say yes, he is. And you know what? Frank actually makes a fair amount of sense. He's a military man just like Rhodey, the identity was free, and after hunting other heroes on behalf of Cap during Secret Empire, the Punisher might very well need the extra edge and protection if he's going to be dealing with other heroes and his regular assortment of villains. Plus, we already had two Iron Man fans, and Frank has been a Captain America, an Angel, a Frankenstein. This is just all new territory for him. Then from there, we have the mighty Thor. Is Jane Foster dying? Well, truth be told, she's always been dying pretty much since this new series began. That's kind of what cancer will do to you. I always felt one of the most compelling things about this hero is that she came packing a death sentence. Then again, the writers still have the ultimate get out of jail free card with an extra Mjolnir hammer floating around the Marvel Universe. This could easily just end up being the death of Jane Foster, but Thor the Thunder Goddess could easily live on. I will say though, by far, this is my favorite of the many throwback covers to the death of Mar-Vell. Now, what's Sam Wilson doing in Marvel Legacy? Well, he's ditching the Captain America mantle, and really, can you blame him after all the damage done to the identity in Secret Empire? He's going back to being Falcon, complete with a brand new costume. I dig the red and black aesthetic, even if I do feel it's a little bit of a shame that he's going back to Falcon so quickly. You'll also notice on all these new covers and promo images, there's very little Steve to be seen at all. I think he shows up in the background of a couple images, but that's it. Now, in the lead up to Marvel Legacy, they made a big deal about some beloved classic heroes and teams returning. Everyone assumed that this had to be the Fantastic Four, and well, they were at least half right, because we're getting a brand new Marvel 2-in-1, which is a Human Torch Thing team-up book. Okay, I'll take it, but do I have to love it? You know what would make me love it? If the whole thrust of the series was Johnny and Ben traveling around the Marvel Universe trying to get Reed, Sue, and the kids back. I think that would be nice. And yeah, that's more or less everything new that's coming out of Marvel Legacy. It would be fair to call it just the Marvel comics we have now, but with a fresh coat of paint, and I can just tell by saying that I'm turning a ton of people off, but, and you know what, call me the ultimate optimist on this one, but it might not overall be a bad idea. Hear me out. They're not really disturbing any of the books people like in progress right now, and despite the bad rap that Marvel seems to be getting from all sides, the problem is not with the characters or with the writers. Those are good. Just look at what Aaron, Wade, Wilson, and everyone is doing right now. No. The big problem for Marvel in 2017 is all editorial and consistency. What do I mean by editorial? Well, just the fact that they built up this big legacy announcement as something huge and earth-shaking only to have it be something that's not, I think says a lot about the tone-deaf nature of the guys at the top right now. And as far as consistency goes, well, that's one of those wait-and-see things. Can they keep the Marvel Legacy rollout happening, or will we descend into more crossovers, event fatigue, and transparent gimmicks? Or will they just leave well enough alone and let the stories be told? I mean, they've already kind of cut down on the overabundance of Marvel titles every month, so that's something of a step in the right direction. Most, if not all, of the new Legacy heroes are sticking around, so it's nice to know they didn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Only time will tell if my optimism is well placed or not, and hey, if it isn't, and in a year's time we're doing Legacy 2 all over again, I'll be sure to see you in that video. So until then, everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you for watching.